Hello and welcome to Kidingdom Knuggets. I'm Siobhan Halderson, and today we're going to be talking about from hopeless to purpose, from worthless to destiny. You know, our kids, some of them have been home for a year. Some of them were home for a part of the year or a good chunk of the year. Some of them are still doing virtual online school and they're not having interaction with a lot of other people. So a lot of them feel hopeless. And even before COVID hit, some of our kids were already feeling hopeless and already feeling worthless. You know, they're in these gray years of preteen years that help them to establish some core beliefs and things for the future. And girls, I just want to say to you that if you have been hopeless or you feel worthless, this is also for you. This is not just for the moms. So we're going to talk about how you may feel uncomfortable with your body, your mind. You can't fully understand what future really means in your life, and how can you even prepare for that? Sometimes we're just thinking in the here and now, and a lot of times preteen girls and teen girls, they think about just the here and now today. They don't have a whole lot of life experience. They haven't been around as long as the moms, and so they can only cognitively grasp the here and now. You only think about today, and so you can't see tomorrow. You can't really picture tomorrow. Some of them have stopped hoping and dreaming of things in the future. You know, they have fears and anxieties about things in the future and about right now, and helping them to maneuver through that is really crucial at this point. You know, you guys are learning how to handle certain situations, how to stay calm in certain situations, how to think about what you're going to say rather than just saying it on the spot. And, you know, you don't have to pick everything today of what you want to be tomorrow. You don't have to make a concrete choice of this is what it's going to be for my future. So, you know, you also don't have to compete with others for your place. You have a place here that is yours. It is all yours. It was created just for you. And each of you have a special talent, ability, and skill. You know, there's another video that I'm doing also about 6 ways to being authentic. And so you can look at that as well. It talks about some of these things of your own talents, your own skills, your own abilities that nobody else can do. And moms, you don't have the same traits and skills as your girls. You know, they're very different. You may look similar, but you don't even have the same fingerprints. You don't have the same facial structure. You don't have the same talents and skills that they might have, and you may think differently too. So even though you've grown up in the same household, there may be things that are very different between you and your mom or you and your daughter. And you know, you just have to show up and use the skills that you've been given, use the talents that you've been given. And if you're good at something, but you really have a passion for it, you have to practice it. You have to work for it. When we practice our skills and our talents, you know, over time we get better. We start mastering them. We start becoming like the one that people look to. Like, how did you do that? And if one shoe is missing on a person, then the rest of it kind of doesn't fit. We're missing something. We're missing a piece. We're missing a part here. And that's like your life. You were meant to be here. You have certain people around you that you were created to be around. You have a family that you were put in. And sometimes, not going to lie, sometimes we don't have the best family. We usually have one person in our family that drives us crazy. We usually have one person in our family that's the one that's like the risk taker. We have another one that usually acts out and doesn't follow all the rules. So we have all these different people around us so we can learn how to deal with certain people in certain situations and help us to practice. But you have a pair of shoes that fits only you. You know, it was meant just for you. And you are in this family or in this place right here in this season during COVID-19 that you survived. You made it through. And that's because you have a whole future ahead of you that only you can do. You are the only one designated for it. Every person is a different part of this body to make everything else work better. So if you are missing in this piece of the puzzle or part of the body, then it doesn't work as well as it would if all of the pieces of the body were together. So there's that too, to give you hope of, hey, I'm needed. I may not feel like I'm needed, but I am needed. And feelings aren't always fact. You can feel down, if something bad happens in your life. It's okay to feel that way. Let yourself feel that way, but don't dwell in it. Don't live in it. Don't live as if this is it forever. Oops, sorry, my dog is barking. Don't live as if this is forever. Things change. There are new seasons. There's a new year every year. There's a new day every day. So it's not going to always stay the same. It's going to change. So if you feel crummy today and you feel bad about your life, it's going to change. But you have to have hope for that change and be willing to look and see if you can see the changes and what can you do to participate in your life and not give up, not give in. Another thing is, what if everybody who felt hopeless or worthless, what if they just gave up? What would happen in our world if somebody just gave up everywhere around you? Everybody who felt like they were hopeless just stopped everything. Now, what would happen? We wouldn't have gas stations open. We wouldn't have people to fix our cars. We wouldn't have a grocery store to go to because it would be closed because people didn't feel like showing up. We would not be able to get new shoes because nobody feels like making them. So there are many times that everybody feels like giving up on something, or they feel down, or they feel hopeless. But if they gave in to those feelings, then they wouldn't be where they are today. Do you know Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison created the light bulb that we use in all of our lights in our homes, right? So Thomas Edison created the light bulb. Well, he didn't create it. He is known to have made the light bulb work. That is what he is famous for. And the issue is Thomas Edison actually did 1,000 practices, 1,000 plus, more than 1,000 before he made it work properly. And what if he gave up? Would somebody else pick it up and make it work? Or would that be it? And we would still be sitting here with candles, trying to do homework and trying to work. If he didn't create the light bulb, we may not even have computers. We may not even have cell phones because he didn't give up. And it forever changed our world. So you doing something so small. Oh, I want to give you another example. There's an old story about a man that was they nicknamed him Johnny Appleseed. There was a war going on in the United States. I know this may be boring for some of you, but listen, this is important. So there was a war going on in the United States, and many people were moving to the West to get away from the war and start a new life. So Johnny Appleseed was poor as dirt. He did not have a lot of money, and he used to travel across the country, and he would take a bag of apple seeds with him. You may already know this story, but he planted apple trees along the way as he was moving west. And he built fences around them so that wild animals wouldn't go to eat them, because he made them specifically for people who were really poor and starving and trying to get away from the war. He helped them to have food to eat and to be able to sell the apples to other people so they could make money to be able to live. So one person walking, he uses what is in his hand. He's not some amazing superhero. He's one little guy who planted seeds on his way. And it saved probably thousands of people's lives by giving them food to eat and for them to be able to sell it and use money to buy other things they needed. So he wasn't a superstar, but he made himself a He made himself a superstar with just planting a seed. That's it. Big deal. What's the big deal about that? The big deal is it helps so many people along the way. That's like your life, moms and daughters. Your life is like Johnny Appleseed, maybe, where there's not a whole lot that you do, and it doesn't seem like maybe you do so much. And maybe your life is kind of slow and boring, so it seems, but it's really not, because every part of you matters. Everything that you do matters, and you matter to so many people you can't even see behind the scenes. You don't even know how many lives you've touched with just being you. And so in your future, there's even more people waiting for you to get through this time and figure it out. And you will figure it out. Figure it out so that you get to the next step, but you feel okay with yourself today. You're maybe even have a little bit of hope and excitement for the future. You have a little bit of zest. Like, put on, what's your favorite song? What song makes you move? Think about a song. There is a song that either makes you sing or makes you move. And maybe you stink as a singer. Sorry, I'm not a great singer either. But maybe you stink as a singer. But when you put that song on, it does something to you. It just, you just start to get your step. You start to get your groove. And you belt it out in the shower when there's nobody else around. Because you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about other people listening. You're in your own world with yourself and celebrating yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Even in those quiet moments when nobody else is watching or seeing you, and maybe you even feel invisible, there are people that you have touched their lives, and we don't always think about everybody else around us. Who do we think about the most? Right? We get stuck in our own brains. And the thing about it is we were created to help other people at some point in our lives. Maybe we're not very skilled today at doing that, but as we get older, we realize these are some things I'm really good at. I'm really good at teaching. I'm extremely good at teaching. I care about the people that I teach. I care about the people that I coach. I care about that, and it fuels my fire. It may not for you. It may be totally boring to you, but you have that song, that step, that one thing that just kind of pulls you in, and you get in your own world, and it's like you and this are one. You're just bam. Right? So let me tell you about some scriptures that I came up with. So maybe you are a believer in Jesus, maybe you're not, and that's totally fine. But if you're not, I want you to just listen for a minute of what I'm going to tell you. This may speak to you today. So if you don't mind just opening your mind, opening your heart, and just listening for a moment. In Isaiah 41:10, it says, "Do not be anxious for tomorrow will care for itself." So don't be anxious about your future. There's nothing to be anxious about. It's going to take care of itself. And as long as you're just working through it and kind of have the door open to look, hey, I've got a future. If I didn't have a future, I wouldn't be breathing right now. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have made it through COVID right now. Right? You may be the only one. You may not have a whole lot of friends. Maybe you have one good friend. Maybe you don't have any close friends right now. Maybe you know a lot of people, but you're not really close with anybody. Maybe you're one of those people who has like 30 really good friends and you all hang out together all the time and you know everything about each other. But that's pretty far and few between. Even Jesus only had three super close friends in his whole group. And he spoke to thousands of people. So anyway, do not be anxious for tomorrow. It's already going to take care of itself. Don't think about worrying about it. Don't worry about your life. Think about the sparrows and how much more valuable you are than a bird. How much more valuable are you as a human being than just a little bird? Also, I'm going to give you something else. If you are willing to look it up, there are a few places in the Bible that are really extremely powerful. And it may even be a little overwhelming for you. But if you're willing to look at them, I think this is really an amazing thing to read and really embrace it as if it's speaking to you. Okay? Psalm 139, 1 through 19. Psalm 139, 1 through 19. You can Google it. Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13. Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13. And the last one I'm going to give you is Isaiah 43, 1 through 7. So I want you to read those if you can, if you're willing. I want you to read those. Moms, this is for you too. read those and really act as if this is speaking to you. This was written for you. Okay? Then, if you do this, I would love to hear some of your experiences in the comments below of what you got out of those. If you did look them up, I would love to hear from you. Okay, here's some other things that you can do. Remind yourself you are not here by accident. We talked about this. You are here for a reason, for a purpose today, during COVID, after COVID, to do something in your future that other people are waiting for you. Maybe not today, but you have your own little world today. This world is the people that your family that you're in, your closest friends, the distant friends, and the people that you may see in your world of where you go. This is your world. You have your own little world within this world, right? Nobody else has this world except you. This is yours. Also, I would like you to, if you can, write down, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. Write down 3 things that you did a great job at. It could be past or present. 3 things that you did a great job at. 3 things or people that you're grateful for and why. Maybe you have nobody. And if you don't have anybody to write down, that's okay. Some of you may not be in a place to be able to write that, but maybe there are some things you're grateful for. It can be as simple as, thank you for my shoes that I do have to wear today. Simple as that, right? And then 3 things that you want to do in the future. It can be as simple as, I want to buy a Starbucks coffee. It can be, I want to be an astronaut and I want to work with NASA. Right? I want to be a rocket scientist. It can be, I want to do TED Talks. I want to be a math teacher. It can be very simple. It can be very boom, like, hey, this is what I want to do. But I do want to ask you 3 things that you'd like to do in your future. I dare you to go beyond the wanting a Starbucks coffee and to think even more. Push yourself even more than that. What do you dare to dream? What do you dare to dream? Something that may be beyond what you even can get today. Maybe it seems like way impossible, right? I dare you to write it down. And sometimes, you know, we don't dare. Sometimes it's too much for us, and that's totally fine. If you're not in that space, that's totally fine. Okay, I am a firm believer in affirmations. This is the last part of today. I am a very firm believer in affirmations. So affirmations are things that you say out loud, and you say them as if you believe them. It's not a fake it till you make it. It's a say it out loud and be willing to let your mind believe it. Okay? And sometimes there are things that we say that may be a little bit too hard to say. Like, I'm an amazing person and I am the best rocket operator in the world. Okay, rocket pilot, whatever it is. Okay, it may be very far-fetched, so you can't reach it, or you feel like you can't reach it, or it may be something as simple as, I love myself. Okay, so I'm going to give you some affirmations to see if you want to try this today. But affirmations, generally, you do them for 7 days. So if you want to write this down or just play the video back, you can do them yourself. So I'm going to give you a few affirmations to do, and you fill in the blank. Ready? I believe that. I accept that. I receive from God. I am going to. So whatever it is that you wrote down, it can be very simple. As simple as, I believe that I love myself and that I am going to do amazing things in my future. Okay? Can be that simple. Okay. So moving on. If you do this for 7 days, would also love to hear about in the comments if this did anything for you. Some people, they feel like fired up within just a day or two after doing some specific affirmations like this. And other times, maybe they don't feel it for like 20 days or 30 days. And they're doing the same affirmations every day, the same ones, same 3 or 4, right? And so maybe they don't feel anything until later. But this is a very powerful experience. So, today may stink for you. I get it. We have days where it's like nothing is going right. I spilled the red juice all over my white clothes, and my glasses broke, and the computer's not working right, and I just lost my work. Speaking of, I did something yesterday that I lost my work. I lost one piece of my work it crashed out, and boom, that was it. It happens, or, other bad things happen. So I get it. It may be hard. You may not even be able to see past today, and you might feel crummy, and that's okay. Let yourself feel. It's okay to feel, but remember, your feelings are not fact. They do not dictate who you are. Just because you feel crummy doesn't mean you are crummy. You get it? Just because you feel like everybody doesn't like you does not mean that everybody does not like you. Just because you feel ugly does not mean you are ugly. So your feelings are not necessarily fact. They're just the way you're feeling. So don't live in that. Let yourself feel. Don't stay in crummy, right? Don't live in that. Reach for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day, and you are a new person tomorrow. You are a new person every day if you want to be a new person every day. That doesn't mean not be your true self or be authentic. That means you can make your day as you want it every day. And things are going to constantly happen. We have life happening around us all the time, 24/7. There's always something bad about our day. There's always something negative to say. There's always something great going on. There's always something good to say. Which one do you choose? Which one do you choose today, right? Fight that lie that says that you don't matter, that it doesn't matter, that nothing matters, because that is a total lie, complete lie. Every single thing about you matters. I'm going to say it again. Every single thing about you matters. And I know there's somebody who's hearing me right now through this video. And though this video may be pre-recorded, this message you were meant to see. You were meant to hear this because you needed to hear this. Every single thing about you matters. Every single thing. And today matters. Tomorrow matters. They're waiting for you in your future. Stay strong, stay courageous, stay bold as a lion, and be fierce. Your tomorrow awaits you, and it is going to be incredible. And if you got anything out of this video, I would love to hear from you, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 3 years from now. I would love to hear from you on how this video helped you in any way. So stay strong. I will see you soon. God bless from Kidingdom Nuggets. Goodbye.